sites. You have a strong terroir and some of a weak terroir. And then there are things that you can do that enhance the expressiveness of terroir. For example, dry farming, not irrigating, a very healthy soil with lots of microflora, that sort of activates or enhances the expression of terroir. Certain soils are strong. Volcanic soils are very strong, for example. So you've got the vin de terroir, you've got the terroir, then you've got, if you will, the genetic potential of the wine, the rootstock, the varieties, and then the last element is the winemaking technique. The yeast strain, all the barrels, all of the human intervention. In the New World, at least California, we tend to focus on the last two categories, on the varietal character and on the winemaking technique. But I think the most interesting wines are the ones that have the first character, the vin de terroir. That's what makes wines individual.
Yeah.
I was in Berkeley a couple months ago, and I tasted a wine. The owner poured me a wine, and I thought it was Nerello Mascalese from Mount Etna.
Mm-hmm.
I was wrong; it wasn't. But it wasn't a bad guess, because it was actually. I said, well, "What the heck is it?" He says, "It's a wine from the Canary Islands." What's the heck? I forget the name of the winery, but yeah. Anyway, so it's grown in volcanic soil.
Yeah.
And they're grown in craters. They dig these craters, and then around the craters they build rock walls out of basalt stones. And the reason they do that is because it's very windy and very dry. So they want to keep them out of the wind and conserve moisture, so that the condensation, the moisture condenses on the stones. The grape is called Listan Negro.
Mm-hmm.
So it turns out, I was telling John Bonnet from the Chronicle about the wine I had. I said, "This is such a cool wine. It's an amazing wine." He says, "Do you know what Listan Negro is?" I said, "Listan Negro." He says, "There's a synonym for Listan Negro." What's that? Mission grape.
Ah.
The Mission grape, which is the first grape to
Yeah.
come to California.
Yeah.
I've tasted the Mission grape in California. The Mission grape is arguably the worst grape ever. It's
Yeah.
the worst vinifera grape. It has no qualities. It has no color, no flavor, no acid, nothing. Zero. Worthless.
Yeah.
But under these conditions, it's totally brilliant. It's amazingly brilliant.
Yeah.
So that tells me that when the terroir is strong enough, the varietal is doesn't matter that much. It's just a carrier. It's a neutral thing. It just carries a message. So I'm not worrying so much about getting the variety right. I want to get a variety that is balanced, that has the right sugar, that will ripen properly, that will have good acidity, but it doesn't have to be the best clone. It doesn't have to be the best anything. So I'm not thinking about wine in a different way. And so the plan now is in this new vineyard in San Juan Bautista. The idea is to plant grapes from seeds rather than from cuttings. So every seedling, in some sense, is going to be worse than the mother plant. It's not as desirable. You won't have exactly the favor. One or two will be better. 1%, 2% might be better, but most of them it will be worse, if you will. The color won't be as deep. Whatever the problem, it won't be as good, if you will, or as desirable. But my belief is that in aggregate, considering all of them together, they will be way more interesting than any one or two or three clones.
So so they'll all be on their own roots then too?
Yeah.
Will you choose an American variety then, or
No.
You'll do a Vitis vinifera and you don't care if it gets phylloxera?
Well, of course I care.
Yeah.
I'd be crazy not to care. I don't think it'll get phylloxera for a while. Maybe never, but eventually it'll get phylloxera. But it's a virgin site. There are no vineyards around. I think we can go a long time without phylloxera. And I think even a healthy vineyard can live with phylloxera for a long time. So we shall see.
Yeah.
What, as we often say at Bonnie Doon, what could possibly go wrong?
Yeah.